Ambassador Nicolas de Rivière, permanent representative of France to the United Nations, welcome to Al Arabiya, sir.
Thank you for having me, Talal.
I'd like to start by talking about the Lebanon, of course. On Thursday this week, the French Foreign Ministry said that France is extremely concerned by the gravity of the situation in Lebanon. Can you elaborate on this to our millions of our viewers?
Well, Talal, I think the situation is really bad. We have seen escalation at the border between Israel and Lebanon for weeks, for months. The situation was already tense before October 7. It has deteriorated further. Shellings by Hezbollah, replies by the Israeli army. So we are in a situation where we are maybe not that far for a full-scale war between Israel and Lebanon, and it would be a real disaster. So it's still time to start to put a stop to it. I think we should all mobilize and prevent this war to happen. But the situation is getting worse and worse across the blue line at the border, and we are extremely concerned. We are not the only one to be concerned. I think many others are concerned as well.
There has been a low-level war going on since October. 28 Israelis were killed in northern Israel. More than 500 Lebanese have been killed. Two-thirds of these killed in Lebanon and Syria are military, either in Israeli forces or in Hezbollah forces. And yet, neither side has used the full range of the weapons and range and quality of the weapons they have. Do you believe an all-out war between the two countries can be avoided?
We believe it can be avoided. I think you're right. Again, we are not that far for a full-fledged conflict. It will be a disaster. Hezbollah is pretty strong. The Israeli army is probably stronger. Everything will be destroyed. Civilians will be, of course, the first victim of such a war. So we really need to avoid it. And above all, what we have been seeing in the region in the last 7-8 months is already tragic enough. Situation in Gaza, in the West Bank. I can tell you, if we go to a war between Israel and Lebanon, we will move to a local war, which is bad enough, to a full-fledged regional war with all regional stakeholders involved, or a number of them. So it will be a step in a very, very, very bad direction. So France is totally mobilized. I think President Macron, former Prime Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian, we try to talk to both sides, both parties. We have put proposals on the table to encourage a cessation of hostilities in a framework of Resolution 1701, which is a framework accepted by all. So we coordinate with the US on this one. We really hope we can convince the parties to take these proposals, to go back to a full cessation of hostilities, to improve the role of UNIFIL, to monitor the cessation of hostilities, and to restore full calm in this region. This is a priority for everyone. You may have seen a statement by the US. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres made a statement in recent days, a very alarming statement as well. So we should coordinate all efforts to avoid a tragedy between Israel and Lebanon.
But where is the Security Council entrusted with keeping peace and security, regional and worldwide? Where is the Security Council?
On Lebanon, I think we should find common ground. As you probably know, we need to renew the mandate of UNIFIL before the end of August. France is coordinating the efforts, what we call, we are the pen holder, and the Council will have to take this issue into consideration to make sure that UNIFIL can fulfill its mandate. We believe the UNIFIL can make a difference, but probably UNIFIL is not enough. So we need a political effort, negotiation. France is very active. The US are very active as well. We coordinate pretty well. So this is what we have to do. We have also a new UN envoy for Lebanon, Madame Hennis Plechert from the Netherlands. She had a great record in Iraq. We expect a lot from her.
She just arrived. So.
Yeah. But I think we are very confident that she could do a very good job talking to all parties. Yeah.
There are reports that indicates that France would support the Lebanese armed forces deployment in the south.
Well,
how true is this, and what form of support you were talking about?
It's part of 1701. I was lucky enough to be already in New York in 2006 when we negotiated Resolution 1701, and a key element of the resolution has always been asking the Lebanese army to take its own responsibility in the south. So
and the withdrawal of Hezbollah forces beyond
the river. Exactly. So this is an essential element from the 1701, and again, 1701 is a framework accepted by all sides, all parties, or by definition by the all Security Council members, and we need to be in a position to implement all elements of 1701. This is a good framework. It remains a relevant framework.
But is Lebanon's economy, is the Lebanese government in a position can support a significant deployment of about 15,000 or so of its forces in a complex security operations in the south?
Well, you're raising another question, Talal, which is the state of the Lebanese economy, and France has been encouraging the Lebanese authorities in the last years to do more to reform and to improve the economy, to have a Lebanese economy benefiting all Lebanese people and not just some. We have a problem with Lebanese governance. I think especially, we are still in the business to identify a head of state, president. So these efforts should continue in parallel, but we need to be creative. We need to find a way to improve the security in the south. And again, the priority right now is to avoid this war at the border.
UNIF has been taking precaution just in case the war starts between the two sides. How do you think UNIF will react to the deployment of the Lebanese army in the south?
Yeah, it has to be organized and sequenced. I think UNIFIL will have to stay, of course. We need, by the way, when we renew the mandate of UNIFIL at the end of August, to make sure that UNIFIL can operate in a better environment, meaning more access to the area, less obstacles to the freedom of movement of UNIFIL, more cooperation of all stakeholders. So that's one. Number two, I think we need full compliance by the parties on both sides, meaning full respect of the sovereignty of both Lebanese sovereignty, Israel sovereignties, improvement of the security both in Lebanon and in Israel as well, which is, a concern for us, of course. So a lot remains to be done, but we cannot give up. I think we could move from, this war in Gaza, which is already a disaster. We are reaching more than 37,000, almost 38,000 deaths, and a huge majority of them are civilians, which is a shame. And it could be much worse, and it could be a regional war if this front in the north starts.
In April, France suggested a trilateral meeting, France, US, Israel, and the Defense Minister Gallant at the time rejected such an idea. Is there a chance of reviving this initiative or holding an international conference in Paris?
Well, I see what you mean. We took note of Minister Gallant's statements. Other Israeli leaders said very different things. So my impression and my my information is that both sides count on us as well. So I think we will continue our efforts. Yeah, we are hopeful, and we will do it in coordination with the US, which are a key player in this area as well. I think we coordinate very well, and with the UN as well. So I think no, I think we have no other choice than to continue. So when you deal with a negotiation, sometimes one side is unhappy with one proposal, but what we need to achieve is a compromise, meaning a give and take. So it's not just I take all.
An arrest warrant has been issued by France in November 2023 for President Bashar al-Assad, accusing him of committing war crimes using chemical weapon against his people in the district of Eastern Ghouta and Doma. On Wednesday of this week, the appeal court in Paris have upheld this arrest warrant after appealing by the lawyers of President Bashar Assad. Does that mean now that President of Syria can be arrested in France or even other European countries if his feet touches the soil of these countries?
Well, first, Talal, congratulations. You're following the work of the French jurisdiction very closely, so I think I admire you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Number two, we, of course, are shocked by all the crimes committed by President Assad in the last 12 years. So, and we strongly believe that justice must happen. Impunity cannot prevail. He killed his people. He used weapons of mass destruction against his people. So whether it's one national tribunal, international justice, even the Syrian justice, etc., we strongly believe that justice should happen against war criminals.
Ambassador Nicolas de Rivière, permanent representative of France, the United Nations, we thank you for your time and we thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Always good to see you. Thank you.